So for the other one, it's going to be a conjunction. And same, it can be equal to. So if absolute value less than or equal to, it is a conjunction. Using the same numbers, that would be a conjunction. We've got the absolute value on the left by itself with a less than sign after it. It is a conjunction. You have to know those two rules. So the rest of this class, we're just going, or the rest of these notes, that's what we're going to do is solve a couple of each one of those so you get the hang of it, get the idea, and then you'll have your homework. Okay? Stop me if you got a question. Some of the easier ones are just a letter. You don't even have to solve. You just have to split it up. Like absolute value of x is less than 4. Absolute value of x is less than 4. So would this be a conjunction or a disjunction? Looks like from up here, since we have less than, it would be a conjunction. So what's a conjunction mean? Where's the x? In the middle. So if you have absolute value of x is less than 4, you put negative 4 on the left-hand side, less than x, less than positive 4. So we just wrote a conjunction. The first problems in this section, they just gave us a conjunction, we solved it. There was no absolute value. In this case, there's absolute value. We had to make our own conjunction. And that's how you do it every time. Whatever this number is, you'll make negative and positive. One on each side with the x in the middle. And there's no solving. X is already by itself. So a quick sketch of this one. 0 will be in the middle this time. Negative 4 on the left, positive 4 on the right. Do we have open or closed? They're both open. And where do we shade? In the middle. Sounds like we're kind of getting the hang of it. That's good. Just for example's sake, we'll do the exact same thing. Absolute value of x greater than 4. So we have absolute value greater than, what would that be? Disjunction. Here's how you split up the disjunction. You're going to write it exactly as it is. Except what? No absolute value. Do not keep the absolute value once you're splitting it up. That's why we're splitting it up, to get rid of it. So greater than 4 or x is less than negative 4. When you write the other one, you flip the inequality and you make it negative. And again, there's no solving here because x is already by itself. We can sketch a quick graph. Are we open or closed here? Open, and we shade away. Shade the outside. Less than negative 4 or greater than 4. Okay? So now we'll get to somewhere after you split them, you have to solve. Ten is greater than absolute value of 3x plus 4. And this is not the way the book had it written. I'm writing this way for example's sake, because what's the problem here? What? Yeah, we have the absolute value on the right side. That's not what we want. So if your book were to have that problem written just like that, you would move it over here. 3x plus 4, absolute value, is less than 10. So we just flip everything. That's the way we need it to be, so we know whether we have a conjunction or disjunction. So now we have absolute value less than. What does that mean? What? Glance back up there. Conjunction? We're all sure.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's what I want. So if we are sure that's a conjunction, what do you think goes in the middle? But it's not just an X this time. It's not just a 3X. This whole thing is going to be in the middle. 3X plus 4. Whatever that is, goes in the middle. Okay? What goes over here on the left? Excellent. Negative 10, less than that, less than positive 10. So go way back up to the first example. I can even find it. Right there. Doesn't that look like what you have right now? But this didn't have any absolute value. This was the beginning problem here. No absolute value. That's why we learned how to do those. So now down here, since we've written a conjunction, now we know how to solve it. What do you do first? Subtract 4 from what? All three sevens. So negative 14 is less than 3x, is less than 6, and then what? Divide by what? 3. Did you say 3?
Yeah.
So we leave that negative 14 over 3 is less than x is less than 2. What if we divide it by negative 3?
We flip the sign.
Then you would flip both of those inequalities. It would become greater. That's what I'm talking about by all these rules you got to remember. It's not really all that difficult stuff. But if you don't remember that, when you divide that by 3 and you leave those signs, that's probably going to be one of the answer choices on the test. You have to know that. And then we can do our quick sketch. What's 14 thirds? 4.6, so just put that out there. And 2 on this side. Are we open or closed? What? We're open on both. And where do we shade? In the middle. That's what it says. X is in between those two things. So that's where we would shade it. Absolute value, 3x minus 12 plus 2 greater than or equal to 8. What do you think we got to do here first? What? Okay. It's a good, that's what you would think, but go ahead and split it up. But first, and that's why I did this example, you got to get rid of that plus 2. It's got to be absolute value by itself before you can split it up. Okay? So right, whoever said that. First thing you want to do here is subtract this 2. So we still have absolute value. We did not split this up. We haven't done anything as far as conjunction, disjunction. All we're doing is moving the 2 over. So we still have absolute value 3x minus 12 greater than or equal to 6. Okay? So we have absolute value greater than conjunction or disjunction? Disjunction. So how do we write this?
3x minus 12 is greater than or equal to 6. And then 3x minus 12 is less than or equal
So this first one is exactly the same again, no difference, except no absolute value. And then on the other one, flip the sign and make it negative. Solve them both separate. So we've got it solved. Is that what everybody else got? Did I make a mistake? None to do that. Zero, 2, and 6. For the 2, are we closed or open? Closed. Which way do we shade? What? Left. And 6, are we closed or open? Closed. Which way we shade? All right. Let's look over our homework on page 45. Numbers 1 through 4. Is there any absolute value in there anywhere? No, you have to split those up. No, you're just going to solve them. Number 1, what are you going to do? Subtract 5 from everything, you're done. There's no splitting up on number 1. So 5 through 10, we have absolute value. So that's where those rules come into play. You got to split those up if you're going to get absolute value. Okay? We're going to do 1 through 10, 12 through 21. And 24 through 31. Before you do that, one more thing I forgot. Absolute value less than -2. What's the answer? Why? It's saying that it's less than a negative, which would even make it more negative. And there is one of those on the homework. That's no solution. Nothing works there. Now be careful with this. I don't know if you'll have this. I don't think you will. But if it's greater than -2, that is a possibility. Because anything greater than 2 would be an answer. And I don't think that's on there. This one is, though. So make sure you understand that it cannot be negative.